Guys, welcome to another amazing Spyro TAS. This one is by Luminescent Sky, aka Luckix40, formerly known as. We got a High Caves 100% TAS here, and this is going to be really interesting for a number of reasons. Let's get into it, and I'll talk about it as we get through it. So right off the bat, we're skipping those gems that I would normally grab at the beginning, and look how far away these flame charges are happening from. This is looking a lot like the Spyro 2 TAS that we reacted to the other day. I mean, you cannot flame charge from that far in normal gameplay. I cannot underestimate how frame perfect that is, and that speaks a lot to how much Luminescent Sky has been just perfecting this task. So Luminescent is also in the chat right there and is mentioning a topic called flame disassociation, which involves doing a jump and then a flame and then a charge, which actually makes the visual part of the flame hitbox disassociate from the actual hitbox itself. So the flame for the hitbox always stays in front of Spyro, but by doing flame disassociation, it kind of creates like a bit of a visual kind of glitch, you could say. So going straight for Ajax right away, and this route reminds me a lot more of any percent than it does 120%, but this is a 100% playthrough of this level. Now here's where it gets interesting. Get ready. Now, I don't know if you guys can see already. He's turning pretty hard. He's turning pretty hard. You don't normally see me turn like this. He's turning up, you could say, and perfectly hitting that thief without getting the supercharge canceled. That's very precise as well. Like, more precise than any person's ever gonna do. So what Luminescent has done here is something called supercharged sharp turning. And what that is you basically have to be pointing a very specific direction on the analog stick while pointing a different direction on the D-pad at the same time while doing all these inputs. So, and let me tell you, there's like 60,000 plus possible coordinates that you can have on just a left joystick of a PS2 controller. So we're talking about like a 1 in 60,000 coordinate. Like, no, you can't be humanly precise to do this type of turn. And even if you get one turn, chances are it's not gonna go the direction you want. So, Jesus Christ, all of that, literally while I was explaining that, the whole level finished. So let's watch this one more time, again, as I've done with the Misty Bog task, and let's pause and talk about different parts. Now, right away, Luminescent is going away from the gems, which is, it makes the spider cycles in the tunnel a little harder, but because they're doing a different route here, I guess that doesn't really matter so much. But dude, again, talking about that flame disassociation, I'll try to pause and kind of show you. Yeah, you can really see right there. I'll kind of go by. You see how the flame is completely disjunct from Spyro's face? That's fucking amazing, right? I mean, that's pretty cool, right? But again, the actual hitbox, I believe, stays in front of Spyro. If Luminescent wants to correct me on that, I believe the hitbox itself is still where it's supposed to be. It's just the visual of it gets disassociated. But I might be wrong about that, and pay attention to the chat to see more details on that. I'm sure Luminescent has more details about that. But yeah, just these flame charges, and again with the flame disassociation right there. I mean, you gotta love that. And it's a perfect, the way they incur that is by doing a perfect jump charge. You can see Spyro is standing and not charging here. They basically press X for a frame and then charge back down, like X circle square, like in like the fastest way possible. And it's like, you can't even see these movements happening when they do. It's actually so cool. I mean, I love it. Okay, so yeah, so I was actually wrong. So it's the actual flame itself is disassociation, not the visual. So disregard what I said about it just being visual. That actual flame is fully disjunct from Spyro. So cool. I mean, it's just so cool. Which is part of the reason why they can get such far away flame charges. This is like a level of tasking you don't see from someone who isn't really experienced in this game. Like the Misty Bog task, we weren't seeing any of that. Is that really hold up, slow down. Is that really the fastest way to collect those? I'm curious to practice this with save states. This looks like something you could do in a normal run. Maybe, because normally we'd charge two, then charge back, then jump back. I mean, it doesn't surprise me if that's marginally faster to do it that way. It is faster than turning back. All right, interesting. And this whole route is crazy. Again, like in a normal run, we would be kind of beelining for the supercharge ramp and then cleaning up whatever we can't get with the supercharge. But because of supercharged sharp turning, let's take a moment and appreciate this now. Just a sharp turn into those. This room, as well as going into the next room, a lot of people theorize, like, can you get through these rooms with supercharge? And this is why you can't in a normal run. So cool. And by the way, I'm just gonna go back and watch this whole section one more time. Let me just uninterrupted. Each one of those turns, and barely grabbing the gems too. Oh my god, gorgeous. That hit, crazy. keeping up on the walls. Each one of those turns is a very precise coordinate, don't forget. Barely jumping off the edge, let's keep it moving. There's still a lot of gems left to clean up, and barely, actually cool optimization, barely having enough height to make it up on those ledges. Luminescent could have gone for bigger jumps from the bumps from the pillars, but opted not to. Again, like very dangerous. Like there's a reason why you don't see me do the trick this way, where you land on that second step there. Like, yeah, in theory, you would grab the boxes and it would be faster, but, and maybe it is, and honestly, maybe it is possible for a human to do it that way, but there's a reason why you see me going for higher jumps there is because you can get something what's called auto jumping from supercharges, where even if you get that jump correctly, that's back, even if you get this jump correct to here, you're gonna get like a weird, like delayed or early jump that you're not intending because of something called, it just automatically jumps you when you're doing a lot of small jumps like this rather than, you know, more elongated, larger jumps. So that's another like fucking wrench thrown into like being able to execute a route like this. Supercharged sharp turning aside. Dude, that fucking U-turn, I mean, look at that. Can I just watch that in slow-mo real quick? Good fucking grief, man. This is like insanity. I'm gonna watch this in half speed here. Barely getting those blues. Those gems on the ground make it really difficult. This U-turn here, this U-turn. Oh, like, dude, not only is the sharp turn precise, but it's like a precise version of the precise thing. You know? Absolutely insane. Like, I have to watch this in slow-mo to like even appreciate what's going on. And then another one there. Dude, and like, how do you grab all of those gems? Look at all these gems here. Oh, you know what? Luminescent was smart here by grabbing the 2 boxes that would have been here earlier in the run. Perhaps that's one reason. I mean, you got to go here for the dragon anyways, but just really cool foresight on this task to leave these exact gems. You wouldn't think to leave these exact ones. It looks super awkward, and in a normal run, you'd never be able to collect that with supercharge. But very wisely, grabbing those 2 that would be there, so that way they could turn a little harder at this spot. Cool nuance. I'm watching in slow-mo, all right? Don't judge me. Beautiful, beautiful. And again, going through the thief. Going through the thief there. I want to just rewind back to that other thief real quick. Right about here. The other thief. Like, I want to point this out again, because what normally happens is you go through the thief, and then if you don't perfectly hit the thief on the top of its head, the thief's collision interrupts the supercharge. Like, you're able to supercharge through him sometimes if you jump like this, but it's still, because of the egg animation, it still cancels the supercharge when you hit the ground. So it's like requires, I think what it is you're jumping while supercharging him, but it's a high enough jump that the egg animation gets skipped in midair. That's my game theory about it. I don't know if that's exactly what's happening. I can only assume so. But it's very similar to how we do thief animation skips without supercharge, where we flame charge and in midair, like the egg animation can't happen, so it skips. It's a similar thing that happens here, but a lot more precise with the supercharge. Weirdly, you'd think it'd be harder the other way around, but that's just how it is. So yeah, really cool task. Let's finish it up in full motion here and just appreciate it. Just appreciate it in full dick speed. I mean, dude, supercharges are just so fast in this game. It goes by so quickly, and then you get the freaking sharp turning mixed in there with like the barely able to make it jumps without auto jumping. And this, what you're looking at is like a thing of like pure precision and beauty. It's like, even if this looks insane, it's more insane than you think. Each one of those supercharged sharp turns is like a 1 in 60,000 coordinate on an analog stick. Don't forget that. So, and just look how quickly it happens. 1 in 60,000, 1 in 60,000, 1 in 60,000. You know, this is why a human, you know, can't do that. And so there it is. High Caves TAS, one of the coolest levels in Spyro speedrunning, 2 tasks, as well as Misty Bog, which we reacted to earlier on. Feel free to check that out. That was also done by a separate person, and you could really see the difference in approach. Luminescent has a ton of experience in this game, as well as tasking, so you could really see, like, especially with that flame disassociation on the flame charges, just the difference just from tasser to tasser in this game is night and day. And hopefully you guys learned something watching this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick and dirty little reaction. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you for watching. My name's Dayo, and keep on chugging. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.